Hiya folks, welcome back to Test Tuesday. Last week we were having a look at the expanding kind of heavy duty drywall anchors. This week I thought it would be interesting to put those actual anchors through their paces with a very typical scenario, and that is an IKEA LACK floating shelf held on plasterboard. I'm often asked to fit floating shelves into plasterboard, and my general advice to customers is just don't do it, because you're really limited on the amount of weight that you can put on these things. It's fine if it's just going to be ornaments and the odd book, but if you're planning on using floating shelves as actual bookshelves, you're fighting a losing battle on a plasterboard wall, because it's the plasterboard that's going to give way, not the fittings, not the bracket, not the shelf itself, but the actual plasterboard will just fail. And by the way, this isn't sponsored by IKEA in any which way, shape or form, but just speaking from experience, I've fitted hundreds of floating shelves over the years, and I've genuinely found the IKEA LACK shelves to be the best floating shelves that I've fitted. If you want to make your own bespoke ones, that's fine. You're always fighting that leverage force against the wall. So the thicker the shelf, the more weight it'll take. The thinner the shelf, the less weight it'll take. Anyway, let's knock together a quick test rig and put an IKEA shelf through its paces. So what you're going to have to do is imagine a shelf. This is the shelf that we're testing down the bottom here. And what you're going to have to imagine is that everything's been turned upside down, because we're going to simulate a load going onto the very, very edge of the shelf, but we're going to do a pull test on it rather than pushing the weight down. It makes no difference the fact that it's going up rather than down. Gravity's not really going to play a part in this test, because we're going to apply all of the force through the scales here. What I've done is I've made the edge of this 26 centimeters from the back wall, which is the normal depth of an IKEA floating shelf. The reason I've not got the actual shelf on here is because I want to be able to see what's happening with the brackets, and if I've got the full IKEA floating shelf on this, you'll not be able to see what's going on anymore. So I've got a piece of oak at the front here. The reason I'm using oak is because it's very rigid, it's not going to deflect very much at all, and I've got oak as a support on the top here. The key thing is that the front of the shelf is 26 centimeters from the wall, which is what an IKEA LACK shelf would be, and we're going to apply all of the force to the middle here, as if we've got a big load going right. It's kind of a worst case scenario, a big load right on the front edge, because that's going to apply the most leverage possible onto the bracket, and we'll see what it can put up with. IKEA say don't put any more than 5 kilos on one of these shelves if it's on drywall. But what does that mean? Does it mean 5 kilos spread over the entire shelf surface, or does it mean 5 kilos at a point loading? We don't really know. It also says on a solid wall that they can handle 15 kilos. In terms of my little mock-up wall here, I've got 2 studs at the back here, and they're spaced 400mm apart, so pretty standard stud spacing. And my bracket, my support bracket for this rig is held into the studs, so there's no fear of the support rig failing because they're attached into the studs. But what I've deliberately done is offset the shelf slightly so that the shelf isn't into any studs, because this is, as I say, kind of your worst case scenario that you're going to run into with one of these floating shelves, where you happen to be putting it onto a wall and you happen to be in a location where there's just, you don't hit a stud. Obviously, if you are fitting these, you really do want to be hitting as many studs as possible to try and get a really good fixing into the wall. But this is your worst case scenario. We're only in drywall. We're not into any of the studs. So we've got 2 fixings there, 1 in the middle and 2 fixings there. All of them are only into the plasterboard. And we're using the M5 by 52mm, the bigger of the expanding anchors that were tested last week. So in terms of how this is fitted, it's fitted pretty much in the best way that you could fit an IKEA LACK shelf onto drywall where you happen to have missed the studs. This is going to be a one-time only test because when this fails, it's going to destroy everything. Let's go for it and see how much weight we can actually put on an IKEA LACK floating shelf bracket. Right, let's get to the 5 kilos straight away. So we've passed the 5 kilos straight off. Let's just leave it for a little bit and we're just going to let it settle down because obviously the chain, the brackets, everything has to just kind of ease into the position that it's in this test. You know, you might get a tiny little bit of slippage on the chain. We'll just let it sit until it gets to a static figure. Actually, we're getting almost completely static at 6 kilos there. It's dropping a tiny bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push it up to 10 and then we'll try and get a static load at 10 kilos for a start. Remember, this is a worst case scenario. We're only into drywall and we've got all of the load right on the front edge of the shelf. It's a total worst case scenario. Right, we've got that fairly static there at 10.6 kilos, so let's keep going. Let's see if we can get it static at 15 next. Now obviously one thing that can happen with these brackets is that they can sag quite a lot over a long period of time. So obviously we're only applying this load for a very short period of time in the scheme of things. If you've got this on the wall with say a 15 kilo load right on the front, you might find that the bracket itself, the metal starts to bend. It's hard to say, but the purpose of this test is to see when the plasterboard's going to fail. Let's keep going. We're pretty good at 15 kilos there. And to be honest, I would expect IKEA to put a safety factor of about 3 onto their products when they're testing this. So if they're saying it can handle 5 kilos, there's a reasonable chance that it can comfortably handle 15 kilos. Let's keep going and see what happens. Let's see if we can get a static figure at 20 kilos. Obviously, I would suspect IKEA in their own tests would apply a force and leave it for a long period of time to assess what they consider to be a reasonable amount of weight that you can put on the shelf. But we're sitting pretty comfortably around 20 kilos now and there's still no sign of the plasterboard failing. Everything looks fine on that side. Take a quick look on this side. Let's go a bit further. I can hear stuff starting to break. There it goes. 25 kilos though, not bad. And it's failed. So imagine the wall's broken, but it's still comfortably holding 22 kilos right on the front edge. As I say, that's worst case scenario. So not bad going. We're only into plasterboard. So what we can see here, which is kind of what I expected was going to happen. The fitting itself is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with the fitting. It's not penetrated the plasterboard or anything like that on the back. What we're getting is we're getting a fracture line all the way along the length of the bracket. Can you see that little bulge there? It's quite hard to see. I'll show you on the other side because it's a bit more pronounced. But we're getting a fracture line, can you see here? And it's trying to just break the plasterboard. You can feel the plasterboard's raised up here. So if you imagine the plasterboard's just trying to come away from the wall like that. So it's trying to bring this whole section of plasterboard with it because of the leverage that's going through this bracket, and then it's applying all of that force along this one edge, and eventually it's the plasterboard there that's going to fail. It's not the bracket, it's not the fitting, it's the plasterboard. I mean, you can see just there's a gap at the bottom there that I can get my fingernail up, and at the top the bracket's kind of embedded itself into the wall. So as is usual on this channel, there's no fun in stopping here. Let's keep going until we've got complete annihilation of the bracket or the wall. But I would suspect the whole wall's going to fail around this point. Let's see what happens. There's no real point in showing you what's on the scales at the minute. It's saying 22 kilos, but since the wall is literally completely disintegrating at the moment, there's very little, it doesn't mean much. Oh, there it goes. Look at that fracture line there that's now appeared all the way along that failure point. Keep going. It's making lots of really breaking noises. I tell you one interesting thing, we'll have a look at the bracket afterwards, but I can't see, the bracket doesn't look like it's bent in the slightest. People talk about these metal brackets bending. It's not, it's the wall that's giving way. Just to quickly show you the fittings on the back, bearing in mind the wall is effectively destroyed. Sorry about jerky vision, but the fitting itself is absolutely fine. It hasn't even, can you see it? Hasn't even penetrated the plasterboard. It hasn't even penetrated the paper of the plasterboard. The plasterboard has completely structurally failed, and the fitting is still absolutely fine. Let's keep going. Have a look at what's happening over this side as well. We've got failure all the way around here. It's completely, I mean, this has failed all the way from along this side, all the way along. It's completely forced this section of plasterboard away from the stud, dying a painful death. That's it. That's as high as I can get the test rig, but it's gone all the way along there. I'll do the rest by hand, but just to show you what's going to happen, but there's no point in doing the rest with the rig. Right, here we go. Are you ready? Let's see what would happen. Oh, well, I mean, it's completely dead, but really interesting that we've got all the way to, it would be just literally hanging on the wall at this point, but it still hasn't fallen off the wall, which is amazing. And that is thanks to this little middle pin. That is the pin that's stopping the whole thing from falling away from the wall completely. If I was to undo this one, the whole thing would, I could probably just pick the whole thing off. My screwdriver. see, that's just paper. Look at that. The fittings are absolutely, they haven't budged. They haven't even penetrated the backing paper on the plasterboard. It's complete failure of the plasterboard itself, but not the fittings. The fittings look brand new. Here's just one last little test here. How much has the bracket bent? Let's have a look. Not much. Not much. So this metal post is, it's about 21.5 centimeters long. So 215 mil long, this post. And at the bottom, we've got a gap of, say, 11 mil to the edge, and at the top 8 mil. So 11 mil at the bottom, 8 mil at the top. Some clever person can work out what angle that is. I can't be bothered. The point is that the bracket has bent a tiny bit. 3 millimeters it's bent in that direction. You might want to say 4 millimeters by the time you bring it up to the full 26 centimeters, the height of the shelf, but the bracket's not bent that much. There you go, folks. 20 kilos on a point load at the worst possible place on the shelf, right on the front edge of the shelf, and it comfortably handled that well. That was basically 20 to 25 kilos failure point, but as I say, worst case scenario. So if you've got that kind of weight spread out kind of front to back on the shelf, probably be okay. That said, go by IKEA's own recommendations. Don't go past the 5 kilos. Anything beyond that, you're on your own. And don't go off my ridiculous figures for my ridiculously inaccurate testing rig that I've got. It's just a bit of fun. Always go by the manufacturer's own recommendations for their safety tolerances with this sort of stuff. Dead interesting test result, that, I think. Complete failure of the wall itself. Bracket is perfectly alright, and the fittings are perfectly alright. And it's really confirmed two things for me. One is that this style of bracket is brilliant. It works really well for floating shelves. And the second thing that it confirms is that these fittings, the expanding metal wall anchors fitted with a proper setting tool, are just fantastic for plasterboard. And there is absolute proof that the fitting is still perfectly alright, and it's a plasterboard, it's a wall that's completely given way. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. Testing videos every Tuesday, other videos including tip videos on a Saturday morning. Thank you once again for watching, you beautiful people. See you next time.